1953 Philco 53-956 AM FM radio. Diagnostic repair attempt. Okay, so some information on this. I bought this radio a couple years ago, and I knew a little less than I do now. I know a little bit more. All I did is recap it, and it didn't work. And I didn't know quite where to go from there, so I stuck it in the closet, and it's been there for years. I'm going to try to see if I can diagnose and possibly repair this. I'm not even sure if I even have all the tools I need to do it. Like, I do not have a signal tracer. Is one thing that would be nice. Maybe I can, rig something up. Not sure. But I didn't put it back together, so I put everything in a plastic bag, and it's just been sitting out. So I did not write these numbers on here, so somebody's worked on this before, it looks like. So yeah. Let's take a look here. Well, that looks like a quality tube. Never seen one of those. I don't know. I don't even remember if I even tested any of these vacuum tubes, but I'm not going to worry about that at the moment. 53956. I see it still has the selenium rectifier. I didn't do anything with that, so that could be a problem. I think my first thing I want to do is make sure the speaker is okay. If I remember right, it's completely dead. So actually the first thing I'm going to do is probably plug it in and see what it does. But yeah, I remember just being completely silent, dead. So maybe it hums or something. I don't remember. It's been a couple years. So let's take a look at my work. Oh, that looks awful. I just kind of threw that in there, didn't I? Okay. Thankfully, I took pictures before I did any work, so yeah, I guess one of the problems, it makes sense that you want to probably, I totally agree with the idea that you want to diagnose and possibly repair the radio before recapping, because I don't believe I even powered it on. I believe I just went through and I recapped it, and then of course it didn't work. So it's possible I could have done something wrong here. What? That looks awful. You guys are probably gonna really get on me about my soldering, huh? I would like to get this radio to work again. That would be awesome. I think it's a nice looking radio. What is... Yeah, see that? What is going on there? I think I vaguely remember... I don't remember why I put silicone on it. Like, maybe part of it fell off and I was afraid something would get in there. I don't remember. Some of these resistors look baked, and you know, I didn't check any of these values on any of these resistors, or maybe that looks new, but I wonder why I replaced that one. Like I said, I don't remember. It's been so long ago. That is gnarly. Okay. Well, that's embarrassing, so. Okay, I'm going to turn the volume all the way up. We'll hit the power here. 10. Okay. Oh. Well. Oh. You know, the first thing I hear is silver mica. So, well, we know the speaker's good. And it's the volume all the way turned up, so it's not very loud. I'm not sure if this is AM or FM. But that's dead. Knob says, looks like right would be FM, left would be AM. So it looks like we got AM, some static on AM. Not picking anything up though. So now I'll clean the numbers right off of that thing. Okay. But yeah, it sounded like silver mica disease, and you know, if I would have known that up front, I may not have even done all this work. Looks like we're missing a tube shield for this one. I don't know if any of these, I didn't write this. I don't know if any of that's correct. You know, let's check and see if the oscillator is working. Where to start on this? All right. That's interesting. It's picking up on the silver mica. All right. I'm trying to do this one-handed is, well, maybe. Well, I mean, that would seem like it is, right? Detector. Second IF. First IF. Oscillator mixer. 12. 12 AT7. So let's pull that tube out and see what happens, huh? Nope, kills it. Nothing. So, I mean, that's a good sign, I suppose, right? Back in there. Oh, okay. Oh, okay. Let me straighten that out. There we go. I should heat up and start conducting. There it is. Okay, where to start next? We know the oscillator is working on the AM. We got silver mica popping, so it's getting into the, so one of these is getting into the audio, so it's that audio section, at least for AM, is working. And FM is completely dead. There's no sound. We know the speaker works. I'm thinking next stage is take some measurements, see how things are looking. So possibly, where should I start? Maybe the RF, and then maybe the first IF. I'm sure there's plenty is that will know exactly where to start and where to look right now. Probably like, but I don't know exactly, so I'm gonna have to just kind of figure this out. Okay, I think I might be on to something here. Following the power in, I want to see power in was good, and this diode looking thing is the selenium rectifier CR1, and right after that 130 volts supposed to be coming out of that. So I thought, well, let me check that, and so I'm not sure if this is what we're on to here, but I'm only getting 66 volts out of this. I'm not getting 130, and it's super hot. The question is something dragging it down, dragging the voltage down, or is that what do you want to call it? Bad. Now, what doesn't make any sense, let's see here, is that Let's see, it shows a resistor straight off of that. The first thing off of this is what looks like that domino looking capacitor. I suppose that could be a resistor, but I don't know. I was assuming that's a capacitor. Sure seems like a capacitor to me, I would think. See, that looks like it's cracked or something, but it's really the molding. Let's see if I can, what do I do with that light? I'm sure if this will help out. There we go. Now, I bet this should be replaced. See, that is a resistor, right? That'd be red, red, what, black? I mean, they have, I wonder if it could be something like figure 6. But I really think that's a capacitor, but I don't know. Red, 22, red 22, black none. So no multiplier. So what, 22 ohm? Right? Well, hey, R26 is a 2.2. Oh, wait a minute. No, nope, right here. Right after, it's a 22. Okay. It's R28, it's a 22. And that is, maybe that is a resistor. So I don't know. I'm thinking maybe I should snip it right there. And that'll eliminate the output of the selenium rectifier. So if I still only have 60 volts, we know the selenium's no good. Possibly if it goes up, we got something loading the system down. So I guess let me cut that and see. All right, here's where I'm at. I had a brain fart. I disconnected that out, and obviously I didn't have any voltage because the circuit isn't intact. So there's no load. It's not intact. It's not going to conduct. So anyway, with it getting hot and the voltage low, I figured we can at least try. So I got this set up. I got the power coming in. I'm just gonna kind of do this and see what happens. According to the schematic, the power goes from the rectifier to the resistor. I went with another 22 ohm resistor. I'm assuming the diode will be more efficient, so I would probably need a lower or more resistance essentially to drop that voltage down from going in. But I got it hooked up. I at least see what's going on, and I don't know if a 2-watt resistor is even gonna be able to handle it. I might need to, and 2 watt in this kind of a value is really the only thing I got. Let me check that schematic again. Okay, let's see here. Okay, so yeah. So the diode's pointing towards the resistor, which is a 22. So got the diode pointing towards the resistor, which is a 22. I believe that's a 1 in 4007 or something like that. All right, so I hit the power button. We're gonna see if we let the magic smoke out or what happens here. So time for some fun. Alright, I should have... Ooh, I got the voltage. That's overvolt now, though. That's way high. It's coming down. It needs to be 130. Alright, the voltage is where it's supposed to be now on the rectification. Sounds like we got more issues. Still nothing. And sounds like FM is still dead. Hear that? Is that my chair? Well, that's about where I need it. It's not bad. I can maybe get it down a little more. Boy, that thing's making some noises. It's getting hot. That might be a problem. Yeah, I don't got... I got 100. I got a 28. That's a 50 watt. A little overkill. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Oof, I don't think I can run that a whole lot longer. Let me check the voltages here. All right, let me do some poking. I've been poking around this thing, trying to see what's going on. I'm over here on the 19 V8. Since I got the temporary selenium rectifier replaced with the silicon rectifier, my voltage is for the B plus is now good. It's about 135, supposed to be 130. Pin 1, I'm getting I think 43 volts. It's a little high. Let's see, pin 1 here. So been going around checking on this voltages, see what's going on. Pin 9 here, I got nothing. And that little half moon means an AM mode, and I'm in AM. So I should have 0.5, negative 0.5 on number 9. See if I can get it in. And I millivolts, so I got nothing. So I decided I'd go ahead and check the tube, and this is really interesting. All of them test strong, really, really strong, except for one of them, which is, I think, G9. Yeah. So we're on G, we're on 9, and it's just dead. The emissions on it are dead. So we got 7 and 2. And I mean, it just goes right up. Same with 2. No leakages, no shorts. But 9 is just... And the F section is also really good. All right. Well, unfortunately, I don't have one of these, so I'm gonna have to order me one up. And see what happens. Let's find out if there's any substitution for that 19 V8 picture tubes, huh? There we are. 19 V8. Doesn't look like it. Went back to here because we still got voltages that are off in the radio and at some tubes. So, all right, this is what I'm seeing here. We got the rectification to our B plus DC. We got a 120 and a 100. The 120 goes right on over here to the audio section, to the 3C5, and everything else is tapped off the 100. Well, up here, focus here, I'm on the 100, right at that 47 resistor there, 470, excuse me. So that resistor, this is that tie where I got that meter now. So I was tracing things out, and our biggest number, because it looks like right here our tap at our 100 is dropping into the 80s, and I'm kind of seeing that lower voltage around, except for in the 12AT7. Now in the 12AT7 it states 95 volts. I first turn it on, it starts there, and then it just drops down and keeps dropping down and drops all the way down to like 11 volts. So I came through and checked this resistor here, and that is, where are we at? That is this little guy right here, and it's getting super hot. So it's like it's really getting pulled down, and its value has actually gone up from 47 to 55. So I'm probably going to have to get that replaced after I fix this problem. I verified that this right here is at 0.01 to 103, so it looks like I got that installed correctly a while ago. Everything after this is in the 80s. Everything before this resistor is 11. So something, I believe, between here all the way up to here is pulling the voltage down. I've checked the coils to make sure they're not short or open. They look okay. Now the factory schematic gives the values. So I'm kind of suspecting possibly C13 here, this pico capacitor, possibly leaking the ground. I'm checking here at this pico, and let's see if I can bring this over here. That's this zoom in, resistor looking thing. Get on there. Strange. It was just showing like 30K. I think I'm going to try snipping that out. Nada. Totally wrong on that. No change. I could seriously be bringing that down. This thing has been something else. Alright. Well, let me think about this. It's been a couple days since I've been working on this, so I don't remember exactly where I left off. But I kept forgetting my voltages, so I wrote everything down and what they're supposed to be, what I'm actually reading, and so forth. And sort of kind of what I remember is that this is the main B plus here. And it's being dragged down across the board. And I think I remember it, if I pulled this tube out, it kind of solved that problem in a way. And we should have 0 volts here, so I'm getting power coming in on this BA6. So I got to figure that out. I'm sure some of you guys will probably see this and know probably what's going on right away. I, however, do not, so I got to kind of figure it out. What I kind of did figure out was, I believe I at least isolated the problem down, okay? So I think I was sort of talking about in this circuit, this resistor is getting really hot because it was pulling, the B plus was getting pulled down. And so basically out of here into here at pin 1, I disconnected that. And that's, if you look right there, going into that IF, that's pin 1 on the BA6. So I disconnected that, and that kind of brings the voltages more back into normal, except I'm still not getting the outputs on this correct. However, so once I disconnected that, I thought I would see if I can get audio through this. I don't got a signal tracer, but I do got a generator. So I'll show you what I found here. I'll turn this up. If I get it just close. To the input, pin 1 on the BA6, I'm getting the audio out through. Zoom in so you can see that. So I believe everything after that is working. So BA6 and all the way up is good. So my problem is somewhere in the beginning stages of this circuit. So these two tubes. So these coils and back, those two down to here, I believe. So I got to figure that out. I'm not sure what. Maybe it's this thing. Is that I think that maybe oscillator. I don't know. But yeah. This video is getting really long, so maybe I'll do a two-parter. I've been kind of just poking at it because I was wasting so much video. Just going along troubleshooting with the video that I just set it down, got numbers, kind of started poking around. So I'm not sure where I got to start at next. I almost wonder if maybe I can separate these two sections and maybe do that again and see if I can get audio from here to go through. I gotta see if there's a way. I gotta track things down, trace things down. This is gonna take a minute, and I really gotta think about it because I'm really not sure. So here's our 12BA6. This is the pin 1. This is where that disconnection I was showing you. I disconnected it at and fed the signal in here. So I think everything to the right, all this is working okay, I believe. And I believe my problem is over here. And I'm really not sure where my next step of troubleshooting should be. I'll have to see if I can figure it out and think about it. I almost wonder if the mixer does a tone. I wonder if I can disconnect here and feed my signal generator in and see if it works. Reconnect that, see if the voltages still stay alright. If I disconnect here and reconnect here, maybe. I realize there's probably some of you guys that will probably know exactly what's going on and where I should look. If I end up breaking this into another part, if I don't figure this out here soon, I'd love to hear your opinions and suggestions on where to troubleshoot. So yeah, I wonder where the fault is. Bringing our B plus down. I mean, it seems like a short to me, or maybe if not a dead short, a pretty strong resistance to ground, I think. Or maybe I ohmed these things out, these coils, and they didn't seem to be shorted or open. Yeah, I need to think about this. We're down to just here, I believe. And we definitely have some values off. Now I'm testing it in circuit, so I'm probably going to snip this out of circuit and see what happens. But this is way off. This is testing as a resistor, and the resistors are out of whack. Like the 680 ohms testing almost 900 ohms. That capacitor has already been replaced. Yes. So let's go ahead and check that out. I don't want to fire the parts cannon at this. I'm going to snip them out of the circuit, test it, and see. See how they test. I'm thinking the oscillator coil may be no good. It was years ago, and trying to remember, I believe I put the Permatex Ultra Gray on here because the wax is all missing, and just to protect it. But I almost wonder if someone didn't already diagnose it down to this coil not being any good and not being able to get a coil or something along those lines, and shelved it, and then, you know, I ended up with it. And of course, you know, I fired the parts cannon at it, doing a recap, thinking, you know, that'll fix the issue, make the radio work, and no, it did not. So let's test a couple of these. All right, so the one I'm hooked up to now, it's looks like a resistor, but it's a capacitor, and it's supposed to be 220 microfarad, I believe, mmf, or pico. Anyway, so right now that's what we're at. So let's see what happens. Let's do a little snip snip. Let's see if this one focus does it. All right, so let's retest that. $199 pico. All right, well, I'd say that's close. Probably close enough to work. I think the next one I want to check is C14. It's also at 220. I believe that was that one. So, but at least for the AM side, which is the lower half, it's not a whole lot left. I mean, can that resistor being that far out of value really mess it up? Yeah, it could. I would guess. And I wonder if I should see if I can get that value a little closer. And see what happens. But The AM and the FM doesn't work, and it looks like they both go through this oscillator coil over here, which I'm really leaning that that's going to be probably bad. This may be a junk set or a parts set or something, unless somehow miraculously I can find or come up with one of those. Alright, so I'm just going to snip and test, see what happens. I clipped out capacitors and some other components just to check them, and everything was checking okay. The only capacitor that was a little out of whack is that one there with the orange stripe. It's supposed to be a 3.3 pico. It was like 160. I'm not sure if that's just resistance from the leads or whatnot, but I had a 3, and that's that black drop you see in there, kind of temporarily tacked in. That's the only thing that was out besides the resistors. And the resistors, like the 47 was coming in at 50, and this 4.7 was coming in as a 5.5. And the big one down there, that blue, gray, see it's down at the bottom. See it. Blue, gray, brown, 680 was like almost 900. So I just got some values and tacked them in there and got them real close. So that's everything else is good. The 12AT7 oscillator mixer tube, I popped one of those in there, had a new one in a box, and it didn't make any difference. It's all down to this section, and with these components, I mean, I think we're down to that coil, this coil slash transformer. It's both. It's an oscillator and a transformer. You have to look at the manual, but yeah, let me pull that up here. The T1 there, I think that needs to be replaced, I bet. Here we are. T1 and T2 are together in one package, apparently. Transformer output AM oscillator. So, I don't know. It's at least so far my best, and I'm not sure if I'm going to be right on this. I don't think this is going to work, but I got the resistors at least in value. I got that pico in value. So we're going to see what happens. Oh, I forgot I nip that back. I got to get that back together there. About time for the moment of truth. I got the voltmeter hooked up to pin 6, which you should get 95 volts. B plus, which drops to 11 when I got the pin 1 here hooked up. So everything else, it looks like it's good value wise. I'm going to go ahead and power it up. Make sure nothing's touching here. Rectifier. It should be good now. See if I blow it up. See if we let the smoke out. Alright, there's our voltage. Well, that's not a good sign. Yep. It's a no-go. Still got the same problem. So it's either that transformer slash oscillator coil, or there's something else going on here that I don't understand. If someone watching this knows or can point me an idea, something to check to see if something else is up, drop me a message. I'll see if I can, that coil's even available, if I can even find something like that. So this is going to be into part 1 for now. I think I'm just going to pack it up.